Dante's Divine Comedy, Inferno, Canto the 25th.
They came across the next Bolgia, and they were getting, like, in basically a writhing mass of snakes trying to crawl out, and the snakes would sometimes bite them and breathe fire at them. And I can't remember if the Joe Rogan part was canon or not, but...
I don't either, so I'm just going to assume that was.
That was probably in there somewhere.
Probably. So what immediately happens next is Vanny decides now's a good time to curse God. It says he raised his hands, and both fists making figs, cried, "Here, God, I throw them in your face." Now, I don't know what a fig is, but I imagine this is...
It's a fruit.
Yes, but I imagine that this is like the old Italian equivalent of like flipping the bird.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
To make figs
you mean
insult
making
God.
figs? Okay.
Yeah.
Showing figs or showing the fig means it was like basically it's sticking your thumb between two fingers. It's because it makes it shaped like a fig, and it's basically like a way of flipping the bird. Yeah.
Either way, he thinks it's a good idea to curse God. He is immediately entombed by serpents. A centaur comes by. First of all, this centaur has like a bunch of snakes like just bitten onto his back. There's also a dragon behind him, so apparently there is at least one, if not more, dragons in here as well. This is Cacus. He's not with the other centaurs patrolling the River of Blood, because apparently he stole Hercules' cattle. Cacus gallops up. I think he says a few things. He's paying a lot of attention to the dragon, which I think is chasing him, so he rides off. 3 people walk up, and they ask Virgil and Dante if they've seen Chanfa. They're not quite sure what that means, but they don't have a lot of time to ask them who Chanfa is. This giant, 6-legged lizard suddenly runs up to them, and he jumps onto one of the 3 men. He grabs onto him, fastens to him very tightly, wraps his tail around him, and hugs him very tightly, and then their bodies begin to fuse. It even says, like, hot wax. Their bodies begin to, like, melt and fuse together. Their faces join together. They get combined into this monstrosity, which looks like neither of them, and then it just kind of calmly saunters away. It's got like a horror element to it, at which point a tiny little black lizard leaps out of nowhere and lunges through one of these guys, one of the remaining 2, right through him like a bullet, piercing through him, and comes out his belly button. Out of the little black lizard's mouth and this guy's belly button hole, a black smoke begins to pour out. Of both, it comes together in the middle of them and begins to merge together. The man slowly transforms into the lizard, and the lizard slowly transforms into a man. And Dante describes in great detail how each part of it happens. Like, he describes the man's legs coming together and sealing up, so there's no longer a division of the legs. He describes how, like, the lizard grows a nose and eyes and ears and lips, and how the man's tongue turns into a forked tongue, and the lizard's forked tongue turns into a normal tongue. It's explained by the guy who the black lizard turned into that this is just something that happens now and then. It's the guy who just got turned into a black lizard. It's his turn to be a lizard. So what will happen is eventually he'll go around and he'll find someone else to bite. And it's kind of like, there's a little bit of irony here. They're stealing each other's bodies, right? He has to go and steal someone else's body, and then that person will get turned into a lizard. They have to go steal someone else's body, then that person will get turned into a lizard. That is the end of the 25th Canto.
Huh.